Hello and welcome to TrainSim TV. My name's Tom and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. It is something that's aimed towards TrainSim World players and it is something that we have literally just been doing on our most recent stream. If any of you have joined us on the 14th of the 4th 2020, you will have seen that we replicated one of these shift rosters that have been created by ChrisRCentral. Basically how these work are a number of different documents. They're all PDF format documents, and what they do is they give you different workings that you need to follow and drive and do crew changes on throughout the Great Western Express route. They utilise the timetable mode, and what they do is they actually work and have you pick up services that tie in together in the timetable mode. So what we have here, we have all the five documents opened up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what's what. We're not going to be doing any driving on this video. It's just purely just to sort of explain how this works and what you do. So what you have to do is when you open this up, it'll tell you what you're going to be driving. So on this, this is the early morning short, which is about 3 or so hours long overall in driving time. They do vary, and in the future also there is going to be some other ones, but we'll cover that at the end of this first bit. So on this early morning short shift, there's an introduction which tells you a bit about it. So basically, I'll read this bit out, but they are the same throughout. But basically, with the introduction of the timetable mode for TrainSim World, an opportunity arises where the Pseudo style roster can be made to help give some structure to the driving services in the game. This roster is designed to give you a semi-realistic look at driving to a roster, which operational staff would follow in real life. Over the next few pages, you will find instructions of what time to spawn, where to spawn, and which services you will be driving. There will also be There will also be any crew moves that you need to take to reposition yourself for the next service. So basically, it'll tell you how you need to start. So usually it's walking form, so you need to be the player rather than spawning straight away into a service. It'll tell you what time you need to book on and what service you need to take. So you need to take a look at the timetable. Don't just go and take any old train, because these are all set out for you. Basically, these have been done to try and give you more enjoyment out of the game, and rather than just picking up TrainSim World, as what I do currently is I would normally open a route, drive from A to B, turn it off, and that will be it. But when I did this on the stream, of course this is 3 hours worth of driving, so it's not just there to there, off, done. We went from A to B, from B to A, and then back from A to B. So we did 3 trips, and they varied. 2 of them were the HST, where we went straight through non-stop, but the one in between was a Class 166 stopping service, which was an hour long. So it puts a lot more enjoyment into the game, and it varies it up. And also, rather than just driving from one place to another, usually you might see a couple of trains, but with doing this, you actually see a lot more AI within the route, because you're covering more of the day rather than just that little section where you might only see a little bit. But you see a lot more, and it gives you a lot more enjoyment, and it gives you the way I put this in the stream was, it gives you more reason to play the game. There's more. It has a lot more opportunity for you to enjoy the game, and it's something that Chris has worked very hard on, with the help of others that have helped test this out as well. He's put a lot of time in testing this and figuring out how things work. And if you're one of these that are sort of on the edge with, you like TrainSim World but you can't get into it, I urge you to try and give one of these a go, and just see how this works for you. I put 3 hours worth of driving in on the stream, where I'd usually put an hour or so. It filled a full stream. I thought it was really good to do just one route rather than swap around. So we're going to move on, and the next thing you'll see is daily operating notices. So these are different per PDF document, and as well, do take a look at these because they cover each different working. And basically, they'll tell you first of all. So the first thing is spawning walking mode for this one, at the location at the stated book on. Now what I did was I obviously started walking, but I started 5 minutes early just to get myself familiarised, and obviously we can talk through on the stream. Obviously if you want a little bit more time, just start a little bit earlier before you book on time, just so it gives you time to adjust and know what you're up to and what you need to do. Get your train set up if you're a little bit slower, getting things set up. And then next up, it also tells you that after each service you need to put the reverse into off and remove your master key, and then isolate any safety systems. This is just something you have to do so that the scenarios work properly and carry on. Next up, you have a couple of notices for each of the workings. So on this one, it tells you on 2P12 that there will already be a service in the platform when you arrive at Reading. So this is the platform that you are going to be taking over for your next service. So you have to wait at the east end of the platform and then wait for the service to arrive from the depot. And then when you get to Paddington, it tells you that there's some door sensor issues, so you need to open doors on both sides just so this scenario works. This is just down to issues within the game itself, not just to be awkward or anything like that. It's just so that you can get the scenario finished and you can continue on to the next working. 1/10. This one actually has been fixed. We tried this in the actual stream and we couldn't override it, and it actually did lock on the brakes, unfortunately. But apparently this has, I do believe this has been fixed since I streamed it. I haven't actually got the newer document downloaded in time. So, next page. On this one, your book on point is London Paddington, so you need to make sure you spawn at Paddington, and your book on time is 0540 for the early morning short. So what I did, I started 5 minutes before, just to give me enough time, just so I could set the back cab and head on down and get ready. Then it has your timetable, it tells you what you're doing, so you're picking up at platform 2, departing at 5:47, heading to Reading platform 12, and should arrive around 6:14 AM. Once you do that, you then have to shut down, as it tells you at the top of in the notices, and then head over for your next one, which is this 2P12. And then again, everything's laid out there for you, so there's a lot more to do on that one. And then finally, you have a bit of a P&B at Paddington, so you get 10 minutes break. And then you will take up your final service back down to Reading. Your book off point is Reading, and you book off at 8:20 AM. And then it obviously goes down here that Chris Robson, who is the creator of the roster design and assembly, Ewan Hay for testing, and Magnus Abai for testing also. Also, Tremano Marcus is for the service mode timetables. So, that is how these are set out. This is one I did on the stream, but there is all the other ones. So I haven't actually driven all these, but what we'll do is, just so you see the difference, I'll just quickly scroll through these. So again, it's the same sort of set out on the title, tells you what you're driving. Introduction, once again, is the same, but your daily operating notices do change. So do take a look at each of these, whichever ones you do decide to drive. Different services as well. So you start off at Reading this time, 8:15 in the morning, with a semi-stopper to Paddington. You then pick up a HST, which is fast all the way through to Reading. And then again, another semi-stopper, semi-fast, back to Paddington. You have a P&B. Then you have a quick run down to West Ealing, where you book off at 11 o'clock. So that one starts at 8:15 and you finish at 11 o'clock. Gives you about 3 or so, just about 3 hours of fun to have there in the game. Moving on to the midday short. Again, same setup. Instructions are the same, of course, but once again, the operating notices do change. On this one, you book on at West Ealing at 12:20. You then run down to Paddington, pick up to R37, which is a full run through to Reading. Then again, Reading back to London. You have another P&B, and then you pick up a HST down to Reading, and you book off at 15:30. Moving on to the early evening short. You book on at Reading at 16:20. You run a HST service down to Paddington, where you then pick up a 166 back to Maidenhead. In between them two services, you do have a little bit of time, so you have about 15 or so minutes, about 17 minutes between the two services there, so do take a note of your times. Once you get to Maidenhead, you'll then take the service as a passenger, as a crew move to Reading. So this actually does involve enjoying a ride on the train. So you do get about 20-ish minutes almost there as a passenger. And then you do have a P&B of 10 minutes at Reading. You'll then pick up a HST service to Paddington and book off at 19:30. Moving on to the final one. This is the evening short shift, sorry. Again, HST in 166. Same introduction, and your notices do change. This one has bits and pieces to do with the depot. Starting off at Reading at 20:40, you will then do a HST service to Paddington. You'll then do a Class 166 back to Reading. You'll do a Reading to Paddington once again on the HST, and a P&B of 10 minutes at Paddington. You'll then run a 166 service from Paddington down to Reading, where you'll then take the service into the depot. You'll then do a manoeuvre in the depot before booking off at 23:55. So as you can see, a lot of time and care and effort has been put into these documents for your enjoyment. Also in the future plans, he also has some aims to put together some 8-hour shifts for Great Western Express, so that will give you a full day's work as a driver rather than just half a day. Of course, drivers usually do about 8 hours, I would have thought, shift work there normally ish, so they will cover more and it'll be a bit more demanding of you. Also in the pipeline, East Coast Way is also in the works, and some German stuff I do believe is also to come. So exciting stuff indeed, and this it really does give you a lot more enjoyment for an older route as well in TS. Well, even though it's not majorly old, it is the earlier UK route. It's nice to see something put together for this first of all to enjoy. As I say, I thoroughly did enjoy it on the stream, and it was nice to see so many people. With a lot of new people into the stream as well, and even they enjoyed it, and a lot of explaining was done, so it has been well received. So hopefully these will be well received as well on the release, and you will be able to find the release information for these where you can pick them up in the description. Hopefully, I think there'll be a few places. Obviously, this is recorded just before the release. I do believe they'll be on our Discord. Hopefully, if you are a user of our Discord channel, you can get them in there. But there will be other descriptions as and where they've been released. So do take a look down there. Not much more really to explain on this one. I'm not going to do the driving because it's 3 hours worth of driving. I can't do 3 hours worth of driving for a video. I've already done it. But at the minute, as and when this video has gone live, do take a look on our Twitch channel and go and have a look at the recent video. So of course, at the minute, the day of recording this is 15th of the 4th, 2020. The stream for this went out on the 14th of the 4th, 2020. So if you do want to see it, do take a look on our channel whilst it's still there, as it will be available for a week or two. It will eventually be taken off. So obviously, if you're watching this later on down the line after recording and it's not there, then it's been wiped off Twitch. But it is available for a short time for people to go and watch. So I've been Tom. This has been Tracing TV. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and we do hope that it's been beneficial to you, sort of learning about this roster that's been put together. Don't forget, you can like, share, subscribe. Any comments and feedback, do pop them in below. If there's anything you'd like to do with this concept, do pop it in the comments, and I will pass it on to Chris. There might be some stuff that might be able to be done down the line, you never know. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear back from people's comments regarding this. Don't forget, it is a new thing. It's something that's not been done before, so do give it some time and do have a go. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and you can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrainSimTV_Tom or TrainSimTV_Mark. My channel, which is Tom's, is the one that's mainly online, so you'll catch me there most a lot of the evenings in the week, like usually Wednesdays and Fridays. We do change it around a little bit more at the minute, of course, with the corona pandemic that's going on, so it's a bit more of a strain to try and get the streams in our usual time, mainly because of things that are going on at home, so it's a lot more hard to get things on. But do bear with us, we will put all the information out as and when we are going to stream on our usual channels of Facebook, Discord, YouTube. You can get all the information there. Again, thank you very much for joining. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care for now.